So fusing the model world and the real world becomes a big challenge. But if we're going to use this stuff for 150 years, we better figure out ways that we can make this work a lot better than it currently does. And lastly, we've talked a lot about information mobility, and I think iModels are a very good start at that, but they're only a start at that. And I think the ways that we can create interfaces into and out of the modeled world so that it doesn't look so much like you must stop doing what you're doing and start using a bin application to get to that information. For example, for doing business queries, that should work much more smoothly than it does today. And I know the Be Inspired winners of 5 years from now will have great examples of how they fuse the modeled world with the real world for information mobility. So what are our priorities? First of all, you know us, we talk about platforms, and we've made a big deal today about the common environment. There are those who tell me, and they often do, hey Keith, you don't get it. The cloud computing and the mobile platforms, they're so different, we should have two different platforms. And I say, baloney. If it's too hard, we're just not working hard enough. We need a common platform. And it can be done, in fact, has been done. And that's kind of my promise to you, that when we give you a demonstration of something that runs on the cloud, or runs on a desktop, or runs inside a browser, it will look the same if you bring up a mobile device using any one of the form factors that you want, Android, Windows, or iOS. And that's a big problem. That's a big job for us, but that is our mission. I'll also tell you that I think we need a new and expanded data model. What really needs to happen is today, I described the progression from CAD to CADD to BIM, but basically the data types that we store internally are centered around their physical properties. And we need to invert that so that they're centered more so around their business properties, and the physical and the geometric properties are related to them. And that's a kind of a transition that will happen over time, but I think it's a very important distinction about what's to be different in the future from today. Now, we talked today about Connect Edition. The Connect Edition is just the beginning. I tell every one of our programmers at Bentley System, you must think differently. There was BC, before Connect, and there's with Connect. And everything about the way our users are going to use our product and the way that we're going to design the workflows has to anticipate being connected. Now, some people talk about cloud computing as being, everything runs on the cloud. The cloud, for me, is about connecting. It's not necessarily about running programs explicitly on the cloud. And that's a big difference. But we're going to take it very seriously. Another thing I think we really do have to worry a lot more about in the distributed, connected world of the future is change management, change merging, synchronization. Those problems didn't go away because we changed the data model. They, in fact, probably become a lot more acute when we start talking about distributing to a lot more people in an organization. So we'll be talking a lot more about that in the future. I think in any axis you look at, number of bytes in things, number of people on things, everything gets bigger by at least one order of magnitude, maybe 2 orders of magnitude. And that is a kind of design philosophy. Like I said, programmers make trade-offs. We're going to have to make the trade-offs that allow for scalability on every dimension. And the last thing that I think is a big priority for us, it's not a new priority, but it's an important priority for us, we realize that you're going to use our products with other products that either you're going to create, buy from other people, license from third party, or you're going to use open source. And there's a great need to have interoperability between our products and other data sources. And that is a high priority for me, and it's a high priority I know for you. So let me just summarize. First of all, I think we're in a new wave of innovation. I think we're about a third of the way into it. It's going to be a big one. I promise you. I don't know what the name of it is going to be. Somebody will name it 5 years from now, retroactively. But we're going to look back, and it's going to be the BC, before Connect, and we're going to do a lot more for you. I think everything is going to change eventually. Everything that we've done has to become connected, connect aware. I think everything we do has to be able to run on every platform. All the big computers on the cloud or with small computers on mobile devices. As always, this isn't going to happen overnight. There's not going to be an email tomorrow or on the next generation. We will take this in stepwise. There's going to be lots of incremental small steps from where we currently are to where we need to go. And you'll be hearing, obviously, a lot more about that from us. But we're going to need a lot of help on this. One of the things that I appreciate most are organizations like the OGC, the British BIM organizations that help us learn about what you like, the ways for things to work, the way people would like for this to interoperate with other things, other priorities that they might have. Please don't be shy about this. And I know I don't have to tell you that because you never are, but we do need lots and lots of help about setting directions. And finally, I'll observe that 30 years is a long time, and some of us are getting a little older, but we're still pretty happy at it. So I don't know if I'll make it for another 30 years, but as long as I can, I'm going to keep working at this. So thank you very much, and I'll bring back back on.